Hey, what are you doing, YouTube? Welcome back to all you grinders out there, and today we're going to be continuing our series of playing 6 max Zoom, $2 no limit, basically 1 cent 2 cents, and this is our challenge going from 0 to 100. And roughly I've done about, I think, 8 videos now, and this is a progress so far. So we've done roughly about 1/10 of the challenge. In the last video, as you can see the drop down here, we got riveted a couple of times, but we made a little comeback, so we kind of just broke even last session. So today we're going to be continuing. We'll just fire up 4 tables. So we'll go ahead and join the game. And like I've done in my previous videos, we'll start off with 4 tables. We'll obviously keep notes, keep track of our opponents and whatnot. We won't be using a HUD because I don't think it's necessary to use a HUD here. We'll just play our hands straightforward, play ABC poker, and we'll go ahead and start our daily grind for today. Okay, so a 3-bet king jack off versus a Witco. Okay, so basically the only tell I have on him is he bets half pot with good hands. We do have top pair. I can definitely bet this for value. I can see him calling the 3-bet with 6-7 suited, 6-7 diamonds. I don't think he's gonna fold to a single barrel if he's got like pocket 10s, pocket 9s and whatnot. So it's definitely a value bet. It's gonna refresh table 4. Okay, I think we have to wait a couple of seconds before we can open up another table. Okay, so table 2, I think checking here is a lot better. I mean, we do have a backdoor flush draw, but on a board like this, when villain calls, I think we can argue, we can definitely see bets, but at this moment, I don't have any reads on this guy. Just gonna check fold it. I'll definitely bet it there if it was like 10xx. The flop, or at least like queen xx. Also, when I say xx, that means like a variable. So when I say the flop is 10xx, it could be like 10 deuce 3 or something like that. So I'm just identifying the highest card on the flop, and then xx basically any 2 low cards, or lower than the highest card anyways. And okay, so this guy basically 3-bet squeeze, and it is pretty big. We only have ace-4 suited, so I don't think it's a reasonable call. I'm basically behind versus that range. Pocket 5s, we'll open that under the gun, and pocket 3s versus a small 3-bet. And this guy 4-bets pretty huge. Pocket 3 is definitely folding. No point in actually trying to flop a set. Queen 10 suited. Okay. So when this guy 3-bets me, he's playing 4 tables, so I'm sure he's aware of my position as well as his position. I can see him having a lot of ace king plus here, but I think we can definitely call. We're just gonna float, and also aces is definitely in his range, because the 3-bet was fairly big, so it could be ace king or aces. Once I call this flop and he checks the turn, I'll definitely put him on some sort of pocket kings, pocket queens, even ace king, ace queen. And table 3, we flop second pair. Just gonna check that back on the turn. I think we can bet half pot here. At least we can get a call from like ace queen. Maybe even ace king. I think he would keep barreling with ace king here. He's probably putting me on like ace jack, but we have like $1 left, so that's about half the pot. We're just gonna shove. Hopefully we get called. I don't think he ever has like king queen there. King queen definitely is a defend versus an under the gun open. Table 2, we flop aces up, ace 6. Once he calls this, I have him on a single ace, or at least just a strong king. So we're gonna try and get value from that. Table 1, let's go over this hand. And he check raises. Does he have ace X of spades, or maybe ace 9? Regardless, I don't think we can fold versus a check raise. So it's like min check raise. We could be splitting here, unless he has like ace 9 or something. Depending on the size of the bet, I might actually I think I'm just gonna check back. If I bet, I can only get a call from maybe like a strong king, but I don't think he might not even call that. And he actually rivers us. King 9. That's completely fine though. Okay, so table 1, we do have ace king. We 3-bet under the gun. I'm just gonna c-bet this. If I c-bet this flop, I'm gonna keep barreling the turn. Just because I think he can float with a lot of 2 overs, even like mid pocket pairs. I think we can go about 51. 51's okay. And once he calls, I don't think he's going to fold. Just gonna go ahead and check. And he shoves. We do have ace high. Does he float twice with ace queen or even ace jack? This is the same guy that actually check raised us previously on the flop. That's completely fine. We'll just take note. That's right. Sticky on boards. Whoa, aces, but no action. Oh, sad face. It's all good though. We don't need aces to win. Just need to play straightforward. And as I've said in my previous videos, guys, if you guys are watching and following the progress, just comment on the hands that you think you would have played differently, or if you do have any questions on why I did certain things, just post them in the comment box. Like I said, I welcome all critics, whether bad or good. I always take that stuff as feedback. And at the same time, we can bounce off ideas from each other by just discussing hands. So, okay, so table 2, I ISO this guy. This guy calls. I prefer a C bet here just because the flop is semi-wet. I think I'm gonna check on table 1. And once he check calls this, I'd rather bet the turn, because it gives me a chance to check back the river, like check. Okay. Pocket fives. We're basically hero calling on table 1. And he overbets it. Really no need, so just gonna take notes. So this guy call down second pair. Top kicker. Just gonna label him as a fish. Okay. This guy's playing 2 tables. I like a 3-bet here just as a bluff. We might be ahead sometimes. Like if he's opening like Jack 10, some sort of 10-9, suited connectors and whatnot. Ace 10 suited, under the gun. Should we gamble, guys? Ace 10 basically, we don't beat Ace Jack, we don't beat any pairs, so let's go ahead and fold just to save our money. Table 4, 9-3-3. I think that flop favors me a lot. Doesn't really connect with anything that he might be calling with, unless he does have a small pocket pair, but even then we can definitely put pressure on small pocket pairs on the turn. Pocket 4s versus this guy who's 3-betting. If he's 3-bet what it was at least like 18 cents, I might call, but versus a large 3-bet like that, we're basically folding a lot of flops. We're just giving away money if we do call. Ace Jack, small blinds. This is either a 3-bet or fold. Okay. Table 1, blind versus blind. We do have bottom pair. Just gonna bet that out, and also our hand can improve on the turn and the river because there's King 10 out there. We can definitely bet like a 9, like an ace, as well as a jack on the turn. Okay, this guy on table 3, he's got roughly about 50 big blind stack, and he's opening 3x. We're gonna just raise this, 3-bet it, standard 3-bet of 18 cents, and hopefully he just spews, and he doesn't. This guy 4 bets or 3 bets massive. I don't think we're gonna fold versus Coca Deux. I think we're just gonna get it in with Ace King. We get cooled by Ace King or Aces. That's completely fine though. Okay. I think we can 3-bet Ace King as well versus an under the gun Razor. Okay, just gonna take note on Coca Deux. So 3-bet massive with Aces. So I'm just gonna c-bet table 3. I can see him calling here. If he calls the flop, I can see him calling with at least an Ace 10, Queen 10, Jack 10, even pocket jacks and pocket queens. We don't have anything. The turn card wasn't fairly good, so we're just gonna go ahead and give up. And I think by the river, if he bets, yeah, but we're definitely folding. No need to hero call. I actually ended up limping 8-6 suited. Might be okay sometimes. And the guy min raises. What to do? We do have a gut shot. I don't think it's a little bit too weak if we just fold. We do have a draw as well to a gut shot. Once he bets the turn though, I think we're definitely folding, and he pots it. We can't really just try and outdraw him. We only have 4 outs. If he's repping like some sort of Ace 10 at least, that basically limits us to 3 outs. So we're definitely folding. We're going to float on table 1 here with Ace 6. And table 2 are basically just called. Actually, I think I might have 3-betted this hand. Just gonna double check. I was concentrating too much on another hand. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, so this guy calls. I'm just gonna squeeze King Jack. Just gonna label this guy a fish. So raise J9. Whoops. Raise J9 off BU. Call 3-bet. This guy is like, he's 3-betting like super small. Just gonna check back. We missed, so table 1, pocket 9 is definitely gonna c-bet. And this guy is 3-betting fairly small as well. He's playing 3 tables, so I'm pretty sure he's pretty competent. And he decides to shove. Definitely folding Ace 10 off. Okay, so we're definitely check calling the turn. Definitely should have bet the turn instead of check calling it. He actually floated the flop. So call ace queen suited, BU versus under the gun, float king XX. So just take note of that. Basically that guy, he floated me on the flop with only one diamond. I guess he was planning to bluff the river, or the turn and the river anyways. Pocket fives. I'd rather 3-bet pocket fives in the small blind than just actually call or fold. If we call in the small blind, we're basically just gonna check fold most flops. We don't have any initiative. We're basically just giving away free money. If we do 3-bet, it puts him like on a decision whether he wants to call. He doesn't know what we have. And he's also probably thinking that his range is crushed. So I mean, I wouldn't 3-bet like small pocket pairs, or pocket pairs almost always in the small blind. It would definitely depend on some circumstances. For example, if I had like pocket tens there and the big blind was sort of short stackish, I'll probably just call. Just to get him to come along. Table 1, limp pot, we do have top pair. Just gonna see bet that. Table 4, we do have a7 on a, there's a flush draw on the flop. So we're gonna barrel this aggressively. Just gonna give up on table 1. I don't want to put any more money in on the turn and then the river. This guy's playing one table and he opens 5x, or 5 times the big blind. So we're just gonna call. Table 4 decided to 3-bet this guy, and with ace 8 suited, and he's basically betting half pot. So usually what I see in half pot bets, they're somewhat weak, but on a board like this I can't really raise him. We do have a gut shot, so we can definitely float. Okay. Can he fold, let's say, pocket queens on a board like this? I think raising is probably much better. And we did get lucky on the river, but what you have to think about now is when he calls the turn, what do you think? Do you think he'll call a shove on the river? Do you guys think he has king queen or something? I think we're just gonna shove. That's our only plan here, and hopefully we get called by a weak king. So table 2, a 3-bet ace jack off. Sometimes I'd c-bet this flop, sometimes I'd check call, but once he checks back the flop, I'm definitely gonna bet this. I feel like he can check with like king 10, queen 10. And he raises us, so I'm not sure what to make of his raise. Could be like king queen club, but I think king queen he might bet the flop. Even like ace 9 clubs, but regardless we're not folding. Maybe he even like turned trips, like pocket deuces or something. But I think we're just gonna end up calling whatever bet he makes. Pretty sure he had like he turned like a club draw or something, but we'll see what he had. Yes, 6-9 club draw, and he basically missed. So just gonna label this guy a fish as well. So the reason why I'm labeling these guys as a fish is because, for example, when we 3-bet and he calls with 6-9, a lot of players will think, yeah, 6-9, I'm gonna outflop him and whatnot, but you have to think about the hands that I'm 3-betting you with. I'm basically like I'm ahead almost always when I 3-bet you, and then when you call a hand like 6-9 suited, you're basically gonna put money in the pot, but most of the time you're gonna lose more than you'll actually win. So that's why, like, I mean, it's pretty reasonable if he calls with like 9-8 suited or 7-8 suited. That's pretty reasonable, but 2 gappers, suited 2 gappers like 6-9 or even like 5-8 or something like that, you don't need to play with those hands. You're just gonna be losing money in the long run if you keep calling 3-bets. So we'll just take note. Also, the reason why I'm taking notes is because when he opens from the cutoff or the button again, we can basically resize our 3-bet for our value hands. And when I say value hands, like aces, kings, queens, ace, king, when I say to resize it, we're basically trying to get as much money from him as possible, because in this example he puts in money with 6-9 off when he knows, well, he probably doesn't know he's behind, but we know for a fact that he's behind. So in the future, we're definitely just gonna 3-bet him for value. So raise 9-6 suited, call, 3-bet, cut off, raise turned flush draw, give up river. Whoops, timed out. We're gonna reopen 2 more tables, just because I hate timing out. Like, for example, when that happens, and you get into another hand, and when you need a little bit of time to think, you don't have any more time because you've already used your timeout. Okay, so game of basically opens from the button, Coffee calls from the small blind, and we 3-bet, and they both called my 3-bet. On a flop like queen 5-3, it's fairly dry. I think we can bet it not too big. I think they can call with a lot of pocket 7s at least, even pocket 6s. I feel like this guy has, if small blind calls, I would definitely put him on some sort of pocket 6s, pocket 7s, pocket 8s. But they both ended up folding. Queen Jack, I usually would 3-bet this versus the cutoff and the button, but since this guy's coming along, I think it's okay just to see a flop. When Whitco 3-bets, I definitely put him on Ace King Plus. He is a fairly competent player. I've played with him a lot, and he's not just gonna 3-bet me just to mess with me. And on a flop like that, definitely folding. We don't have anything.